Hey guys, Jen Lormond here. Super excited to show you your cardio interval program for the 24-day transformation. Make sure if you don't have a heart rate monitor on and you don't know what your training zone is, in this particular program, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you could maintain that intensity all day, 10 being not another minute, you want to hang out somewhere between a 6 and an 8 doing this program. And if you have your heart rate monitor on and you've calculated your training zones, that means that you want to stay between 60 and 80% of your heart rate max. All right, so we're gonna get started with our cardio interval workout with our low impact cardio version. So if you have a step in your house or a low bench, you can use that to step up and down on, making sure that you're turning your abs on, keeping your knees over your ankles. Jamie's gonna go 30 seconds on this cardio interval, and again, this would be for folks that need the low impact version. This is still gonna get your heart rate up. She's got another 3 seconds, and then she's gonna go ahead and stop. And quickly, she's gonna go into her favorite, which are burpees. She's gonna get 15 reps right here. Nice, good. She's going all the way down, keeping those abs loaded. Again, as a modification, if you're like, holy cow, I am not ready for that, then she's gonna do a up down with no hop. So she's basically placing her hands on the floor, pushing the feet out, and then coming back up to a standing position using her abs. Okay, so she's got 15. She's gonna go right into 20 push-ups. So hands are down on the floor and drop and drive. So she might start out and only do 5 full. That's okay. Then she can drop to her knees to crank out the rest. And again, if that's still too challenging, then she can leave her butt up in the air and bow forward. Or you could also go against a wall and press from the wall, but we're not going to show you that one. She's going to come up and do a sumo squat jump. So she's going to turn her toes out and she's going to drop and drive. Again, this is the high impact version. If you're not ready for this, if you have knee ankle injuries, then she's going to just pulse down and up. And that's going to work well. She's going to keep her big toe and heel loaded. And she's going to get 20 reps of those. And then she's going to go right back into her cardio interval. This time we're going to show you jacks, which is a higher intensity. Good, 30 seconds right here. She can make this harder if you're more fit with a tap between, so she can reach down and tap the floor. Nice, good, making sure she's getting a little bit deeper, just working a little bit harder, gonna push her heart rate up a little bit more. Remember, you wanna stay between a 6 and an 8 on that scale from 1 to 10. Okay, so after her 30 seconds, she's gonna drop down to the floor and give me her full sit-ups. So legs are straight. She's gonna sit all the way up, all the way down, using her abs both on the way up and on the way down. If this is too challenging for you or you're not ready for this, you can also just do a modified crunch. So she's gonna bend her knees, hands behind her head, and she's just gonna crunch up and down. Okay, find the variation that works best for you with where you're at in your fitness level. Okay, when she completes those, she's gonna go into a rotation. So she's gonna sit up and rotate. Again, trying to get full extension from the leg, and she's gonna turn into it. This is the advanced version. If your back or your abs aren't ready for this version, the modified is gonna be crunch with a rotation. So she's gonna, she's gonna keep 1 foot flat on the floor and she's gonna rotate into it. Perfect. When she gets 15 or so on each side, she's gonna go ahead and roll over into a hover or a plank. The goal is to hold this as long as you can, up to 30 seconds, making sure that you're not engaging your back, that you're keeping your abs loaded. And again, if you notice, Jamie's got her feet nice and wide. But if she wanted to make it more challenging, she's pretty strong, she would bring her feet close together. And if you need even more of a challenge, you might even lift 1 foot off the floor. That's an advanced variation. So she's finished that round, and now she's gonna head right back into her cardio, and she's gonna do a scissor feet. So switching those feet like she's running, driving her arms for 30 seconds. This is high impact, so if this doesn't work for you, find a low impact version like stepping up and down on a step. Okay, that works just as well. Again, she's thinking about her heart rate. She has her heart rate monitor on, checking to make sure she's in her training zone. Good. Once she gets her 30 seconds down, she's gonna rock and roll right into the next exercise, which is going to be a lunge with a knee drive. Yep. So she's gonna stay on that one side. She's gonna turn in, rotating that elbow towards her knee to really engage her waist. The foot that's planted on the floor is doing the work here. She's gonna get 15 reps on that side, then she's gonna switch on over to the opposite side. Again, if you look, her knee is right over her ankle, chest is coming over her knee. She's working her outer hip with this movement. She's gonna get 15 on that side, and then if that wasn't enough, she's gonna go right into plyo lunges. So she's gonna add a hop. This is an advanced movement. If you are not doing high intensity movements, then you would just take the hop out and alternate backwards lunges. So you're just gonna step back and lunge deep, step back and lunge deep. Perfect. Once she gets 15 to 20 of those guys, she's gonna stop and she's going back to her next cardio interval, which, let's go skaters, Jamie. Nice. So she's pushing off from one side to the other. Again, this is a higher intensity movement, more challenging. If you want the low impact variety, you would eliminate the hop and just step side to side, pushing that leg back. Perfect. Challenging those outer hips. So she's gonna get 30 seconds on this, and then she's gonna head into her last circuit, which is a reverse crunch and a bicycle. So she's gonna sit on her butt, feet off the floor, driving those knees in towards her chest and then extending them out, making sure she's feeling this in her abs as she's pulling those knees in and out. Good, working both sides of the movement, making sure you're not feeling this in the front of the hips. She's gonna get 20 or so reps of those, and then when she's finished that, drop back into her bicycle. Good. This is the advanced version. She's extending that leg out and her feet are staying off the floor. If you wanted to modify this, you'd either bring 1 foot on the floor and rotate into it, or you could leave both feet on the floor and rotate into it. Perfect. And last but not least, she's going to alternate hands to elbow planks. So she's going to flip over, starting on her elbows, and she's going to walk up to her hands, down to her elbows, trying not to rotate through her hips. This is very challenging, both in the abdominals as well as the upper body. Nice, Jamie, good job. So she's gonna aim for anywhere from 8 to 15 here. Again, you could always drop down to the knees to modify. That works too. Nice job. And that is it. That is your cardio interval program.